And blessings, I am back. There may have been some audio issues previously, so I decided just to close out that live and come back. So today I'm just sharing a message for anyone who is feeling discouraged, feeling broken, or that, the things that they desire are just so far fetched that they don't think it's attainable, or they feel like they are not worthy of it. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Jovhannah, the spiritual love healer, and I am here to help you live abundantly ever after. I help you tap into your abundance to expand your vision and really activate your heart. Oftentimes, the people that I work with are women who have experienced some sort of toxic or unhealthy relationship. So abundantly ever after is really about picking up the pieces and recreating yourself and creating the life that you desire. So we talk a lot about mindset, we talk about manifesting, we talk about money, and we talk about love. Money and love are two of the most important foundational things that we need. We need money to survive, and we all need human connection to truly thrive. So whether it's friendships, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's your familial relationships are all important, especially the one that you have with yourself. So a bit earlier, I was talking about how a lot of times after being in a unhealthy or toxic relationship, you come out of it and you're feeling very low. Your energy is low. You're probably not thinking or feeling the best about yourself. And sometimes that can really scar you in a way that you begin to settle because you don't think that you deserve more than what you have received already. And I've made that mistake in the past, and I see a lot of women make that mistake as well. And so I just wanted to drop this seed in your heart that you are always, always worthy and deserving. And if there's something that you feel that you want to accomplish in your life, you can absolutely do it. But it really starts with your mindset. So many times when you do get out of a unhealthy relationship, you kind of have to relearn who you are, and you have to unlearn those unhealthy connections. Peace. Good morning, Chantel. Thank you for joining me. I hope you can hear me now. But you have to unlearn those unhealthy connections and those unhealthy thoughts. And often it goes back into like learning to love yourself again, and not taking on the energy of that relationship and carrying it with you throughout every next step that you take in your life. Perfect. I'm so glad. And so abundantly ever after, it's about putting down the baggage. What would your life be like if you were not carrying around the weight of your past, the weight of the mistakes that you made, the judgment, the shame, the guilt that you faced? Who would you be? And what would you be experiencing? And yes, an aspect of that is money. It's financial abundance, because that is equally important. We live in a world where we need money to survive and to thrive. And many times for women coming out of these unhealthy relationships, oftentimes there's a disconnect with the money or abundance factor, because there's a disconnect with our worth, how we value ourselves, and the love that we have for ourselves, because money and love are very much connected and intertwined. And that's not to say that you cannot have money if you don't have healthy self-love practices, and vice versa. It's just that there is a true connection between the two. And the more that you truly open up to receive, and that's in all forms, that's in the form of love, because it's all abundance. Money and love, it's all energy of abundance. And the more that you're open to receive, the more that you will receive. But you can't receive when your heart is closed off. You can't receive when you feel like you're not worthy. You can't receive when you're settling. And settling, it's like, okay, it's like you say you want a house, right? You want a house, in your mind, you want like a 2-story brick home on like an acre or whatever, I don't know. But then you're like, it's not coming fast enough. It's not coming fast enough. And so then you just decide, okay, well, I'm just going to rent an apartment for now, right? And you might do that because, of course, we need a place to stay, but you're going to probably have some trouble in that apartment. And it's going to feel like, why am I here? Like, this isn't even what I wanted. When we settle, it tells the universe that I don't really want what I want. So I'll just take whatever you give me. And that's not what we want to do. Like, you have to get out of the energy of settling and believing that everything has to be a struggle. Money and love are not things that we are supposed to be struggling for. We can truly have what it is that we desire, but the problem is a lot of us don't know what we really, really desire. You have to be clear. I want a house on an acre and a half of land out in the country. I want, a little bit of privacy from my neighbors. If you know that you want the house, why are you settling for the apartment? Because the house that you want is there. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of patience. Sometimes you have to learn a few things. Maybe you got to work out some things, credit-wise, or working with your realtor on the area. Maybe it requires you to grow. Maybe you need to move to another state in order to get that vision that you have for yourself. But it's there. You will not receive it if you settle. And this happened to me. Like And sometimes settling looks like doing something out of urgency or doing something out of need, because I was ready to move and I wanted a house, and the house, it kind of fit what I wanted, but in some ways it also did not. And when I tell you I had so many issues like with that home, I will never, ever, ever settle again, because it's almost like you're asking God for what he promised you, but then you're telling him that he's going to break his promise. So you're going to cling to something else when he's giving you the vision for your life, right? For the things that you truly desire, those big, grand things that you've been dreaming of. Those are seeds that were planted in us by God. Like, those are his promises. And if you continue to doubt those things, if you continue to not believe that you're worthy and deserving of those things, it makes it hard for them to be delivered to you. Or if you do receive them, then you lose them because it's like, oh my God, I don't deserve this. So you may self-sabotage yourself in some way, where you wind up not being able to hold on to it. And so, especially for women who have experienced some sort of past traumatic event, and trauma can come in, like, there are many forms of trauma. There's complex traumas, and then there are like the kind of day-to-day traumas that we deal with, right? Falling down and scraping your knee is a form of trauma. Is it complex? No. But anyone who has gone through a traumatic, some sort of life-changing experience, especially when it involves a romantic partnership where you don't feel that you're valued, where you don't feel that you're heard or supported, or maybe you have been deceived in some sort of way and you feel like your heart is broken, that impacts you deeply, whether you're aware of it or not, in how you see yourself and how you show up. Because sometimes there's a lot of guilt and shame and embarrassment attached to that. And so you don't feel like you're worthy of, that Hallmark movie love, the sappy Christmas story in Vermont in the cabin, and you just so happen to run into like the most amazing, nice man, and he's got the Labrador Retriever. I'm sorry, I just went all off on a tangent, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, you're worthy of that. You're worthy of success. You are worthy of being loved properly. You are worthy of loving yourself. You're worthy of having not only the material abundance, but the spiritual abundance. And that's why, like, working on your mindset is so important. That's why self-love is so important. It's just not about, going and getting our nails done. It's about really filling ourselves with the love, with the belief, and with the intention of, what it is that we want for ourselves, of who we are supposed to be in this lifetime. It doesn't matter who you were yesterday. If you decide today, in this moment, right now, I want to be a millionaire, you can do that. You can absolutely do that, but you have to decide, and that starts with you being clear. You can look back and say, okay, yeah, in the past, I was abused. In the past, I was used. In the past, I was broken. In the past, I made unhealthy, unwise decisions. In the past, I was not caring for myself, but that's in the past. And I'm going to decide to sit that shit down, and I'm going to start creating a new story for myself today. And so one of the first exercises that I do with my clients, or if you come into my group, is like, what do you want? And often it's so sad because people, they don't know. And it's because we've been conditioned to think inside this little box of what we're able to do and achieve based on our sex, based on our skin color, based on where we live, how we were raised, the things that we have. When there's a whole wide, expansive world available to you, you don't have to be whatever stereotype, society says that you have to be. You don't have to be what your mama and your daddy and your auntie and your cousin think that you're supposed to be. F all that. Who do you want to be? What do you want to experience? What do you want to have? And then you go get it. And that right there is so powerful. And, I just found myself on a new, leg of my abundantly ever after, right? Because our vision is always evolving and growing and changing. And so we're always evolving and growing and changing with it. So on the first live, I shared some things that I manifested. I manifested my business. I created a business for myself. And then I was like, yeah, like I want to go full time in my business. But I wasn't ready. And so I wanted to be a social media manager for a specific company that I absolutely loved. And I manifested that position, and I was there for a little over 3 years, and it was amazing. It was great. But I was like, it's time. Like, it's time for me now to really focus in on my work and do the things that I need to do. And I took that leap of faith, and I was like, okay, I put in my letter of resignation. I ended my contract on beautiful terms and stepped into my business fully. And when I did that, I have been taken care of since. I haven't really had to worry about anything. Things are flowing very beautifully and very smoothly. And it's because of my mindset and my belief and all of the things that I have been doing in the background to really put myself in this position. And it wasn't until probably within the last week or so, I realized 3 years ago, when I thought I was ready, I was not ready. I didn't have the mindset that I have right now. I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the courage. I had the vision. I had the dream, but I was too scared to take the steps to make it happen. If I had have done 3 years ago what I'm doing today, I would be further along, but I know I'm where I'm supposed to be right now in this moment. So that's another thing. When you feel like, you're broken or you're damaged, or I'm, about to be 39, what am I doing with my life? I don't have X, Y, and Z. I'm not married. I don't have this and I don't have that. I remember my dad had said to me something, I was feeling bad because he was like, he told me nobody was going to marry me after I had my second child. So I have 2 children. My oldest is 18. She is a student at Howard University, HU, and Savvy is 6. And that hurt me for a little while. And I started thinking, I don't even know if I want a husband at this point. Have you seen what's going on in these men's hearts and minds these days? Who said I wanted to get married? I'm good. So I had to really sit and think, what do I want? Because you're trying to put a story on me that's not mine. You might feel that way. You can feel however you want to feel. I genuinely don't care, because you didn't even ask me what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be clear about what you want, so that when somebody else tries to tell you who you are, you can be like, no, that's not me. That is not me. Old me would have allowed that to, and I did for a little while. I was like, damn, how could you, but I didn't allow it to suck my soul out, younger me probably would have done that. Oh my God, I'm not going to be nothing. Nobody's going to love me and la, 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 la. Who are those people anyway? No, I'm so grateful that I can look back and see growth. And that's the beautiful thing, right? When you come from ground zero, when you have to, scrape and crawl your way back up from being broken, look back and see the growth. Don't look back and judge yourself like, I used to do this. We all used to do something. You might do something tomorrow. It's all okay as long as you can grow and learn from that experience, right? Life is about learning, and life is about your experiences. If you're ready to experience something different, something new, you have to do something different and something new. And that starts with up here. In your heart, it's something that you want to do. I remember when I was like, how old was I? Probably about 19, 20, somewhere around there. Yeah, between like 19 and 20 something. I was like, I want to start a YouTube channel. Like I always gave great advice. I was the one that people came to like for advice, because I'm not going to tell you to do something that I would not do, right? I really sit and think like, okay, what's the best way for you to navigate this situation? What's going to help you grow and evolve? I've always had that mindset. And I wanted to start a YouTube channel because I'm like, like the conversations that my friends and I were having could have benefited so many other people, but I was afraid to start it. I was like, no, I need somebody to do it with me and I can't do it. I finally started my YouTube channel. I don't even know when. I did it on my own by myself. And it's great. It's doing what I want it to do. And that's another thing that I did. Like sometimes we talk ourselves out of our own vision and our own dream. Like if you take the step that you need to take it with all the fear, take it with all the worries and the what ifs, just take the step and you'll get one step closer. The fear doesn't go away. Neither does the longing for that dream. The fear is not going to go away. You have to continue to show up with it, but you keep the vision in your mind of like, okay, I'm doing this because I want to be a millionaire. I'm doing this because I want a better life for my children. I'm doing this because it's what I feel in my heart I need to do. And if I don't do it, then what? Am I really living if I'm not doing what's in my heart? So there's so many different aspects of what living abundantly ever after is. But what I do know is it's all about what you believe about yourself, not what you think about yourself, but what you believe about yourself. And for a long time, I used to think that I was, ready to like, I want to, put my business out there. I want to do all these different things and I really want to help people. But there was so much fear inside me and I couldn't move forward with it. And even now, like I'm still nervous, like, okay, like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? But I just show up and I do it and it flows. And it's because I'm serving from my heart. I'm doing and talking about things that really bring me alive and make me happy. And I want to see other women win. That is why I am so adamant about living abundantly ever after, because I want you to know that you can paint yourself a whole new, beautiful, pretty picture, no matter what was on the other side of your life. You can hit reset every day, every year, every month, every season. Whenever you feel like it's time for a reset, I need to recreate myself, reset. That's all you got to do. I know for a fact I'm not the same woman that I was in January of 2021. I know for a fact I'm not the same woman that I was at the start of the summer. And I know for a fact I'm not the same woman that I was at the start of this month. The more that you connect in with your vision, with whatever your abundantly ever after looks like for you, the more that you believe it, the more that you work on yourself, the more that you surround yourself with the right people, the more you are going to grow and evolve to the point you're gonna continue to elevate in very dynamic and powerful ways. And I'm telling you this because I have done it and I continue to do it over and over and over again. The life that I'm living right now is, I don't even know what version is 3.0, 5.0. I don't even know, because I continue to elevate and grow my vision. I don't ever want to stay the same. If you can look back at the beginning of January and you're doing the same thing day in and day out and you're not seeing any change, you're doing something wrong, and it's time for you to shift something in your life. If you don't know what your vision is, if you don't know how to move forward from where you are, click the link in my bio. I have spaces I do free consultations. We can get on the phone, figure out what's going on in your life, what's holding you back, and how I can support you in moving forward. But I truly want to see you all win, because there's enough for everybody. We have been programmed to think that we have to struggle for money, that we have to struggle for love, that there's not enough for everybody, that we gotta, be at each other's necks all the time, especially, Black women in our community. Like, no, like it's not even about that. Like, we don't have to live that way. Like, there is so much available to us. We are out here doing amazing things, the most educated demographic who are starting businesses. We're out here making changes, and there's enough for you for whatever pie that you want to create for yourself. You can do that. There is so much in this world. Abundance can be yours, whatever that looks like. It might be an abundance of joy, of health, of money, of success, of love, of travel, of adventure. Whatever abundantly ever after is to you, you can have that. But you have to let yourself have it. Give yourself permission to let go of the past. Give yourself permission to recreate yourself. What do you need to give yourself permission for today? Give yourself permission for that, and then just keep moving forward. I love you. I love you. I love you. I hope that this message has inspired you in some way. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will see you on here again soon. Peace.